Hello, and I want to share a few thoughts around SPANCOP, a sales funnel and a sales process. I just want to start off by highlighting three significant benefits that I think you as a seller will get if you adopt SPANCOP into your sales activities. Number one, you will always be in control. You will always have a structure to follow and confidence of where you are in the sales process. Number two, you will always know the next step, whether you go forwards, backwards, or stay in the same phase. You will know with clarity the next step you need to take, because sales is all about moving things forward eventually. You can learn from your sales funnel in areas that you are strong, in areas that you need to develop. That could be in two ways. That could be one, your own skills. You could identify an area in the sales funnel where you need to develop, or the other space, your business. Where does your business win? Where does your business lose? Where does the marketing need to be tighter, better? Where does the activity need to focus to help you move through the sales funnel? So, three compelling reasons why you should listen to more of the video. But let me start, therefore, by introducing SPANCOP. It's a 7-stage sales process. Suspect, prospect, approach and analyze, negotiate, close, order, and payment. You'll recognize these, I'm sure, within your own sales activities. And I want to start at the very top of the sales funnel, the widest frame, the suspect. This is a population of people that you believe should want or need your product or service, should be interested in what it is that you offer. We call these suspects. Now, very important, don't sell to suspects. Suspects have not declared that they're ready to buy. They are people that you believe could need your product or service. So these are the people that in a social media sense, you will be creating your posts for. These are the people you'll be writing your blog articles for. These are the people that you want to put in what we call your ecosystem. If we recognize it takes between 5 and 12 contacts to make a sale, this is where much of your sales journey begins and how your buyer will enter your sales process. But I already said, don't sell to suspects. And this is really important because I find so many sellers and businesses waste time selling to suspects. What's your filter? How do you know that an opportunity should indeed become a prospect? Because this is where I would suggest you only here you start to invest time, resource, and a little bit of energy around the engagement. And for me, there are 3 filters that I use. Find your own, but I'll share mine. 1, they have declared they want or need my product or service. Very different from me assuming, as it was in suspect. 2, they have a budget for the project. They have a budget for the piece of work, the service or the solution. And 3, they have the authority to spend the budget. You establish these 3 things, I would say you're in a good place to say this is a qualified sales opportunity, and therefore moving down into the sales funnel would be a green light from me. Those 3 things again: 1, they've declared they want or need my product or service. 2, they have the budget. And 3, they have the authority to spend the budget. I particularly like the authority to spend the budget because it helps me understand the decision-making unit, because they might declare something that, no, it's not just me, I need to bring somebody else in, or I need approval from my boss. So establishing these 3 things very early should they give you the confidence to move through. The third phase, the A of SPANCOP, is the approach and analyze phase. Needs discovery, maybe you call this. But this is where you determine the needs and establish that the interest that they've shown is genuine. This is where you make sure that what it is you have in the offer is what they would want to ultimately purchase. Now, if you've got the right people in the top of your funnel, you've qualified them, and you're in this approach and analyze phase, this is where you can make sure that the budget they have matches the solution. Because it's here, perhaps, that you need to spend a bit more time than you might normally. Let me tell you some signs that you've been too quick. Have you ever tried to close a deal and they've turned around and said, I wasn't quite sure about that, or, oh, I wanted you to add this in now, or could you just? If you get to closing a deal to the back end and those things are happening, I would suggest it's because you've not spent long enough in the approach and analyze phase, ensuring that the parameters are absolutely clear before you move forward. Often what happens if you rush too soon here, your customers ultimately push you back up the funnel and you end up having to revisit. So if you're somebody that actually finds yourself going around and around with the same conversations with some prospects, it could be that you're not spending long enough in this approach and analyze phase. So yeah, outside of that, we've agreed that the parameters and everything is right. The customer has said entirely agree. It's only here that I would suggest negotiation starts to happen around the needs that have been established. And now notice this isn't price, this is about the parameters. This could be the color, the day, the size, the type. Because price at this stage should be pretty less important, I might phrase it that way. Because through the suspecting to the prospecting, the approach and analyze, you see that the funnel does indeed start to reduce in its size. This is because we know that there will be casualties, let's call them, along the way. There will be those opportunities, those prospects that just don't fit. You don't fit with them, they don't fit with you. Maybe the budgets are not really appropriate for your service or solution. So by the time you get to this negotiate phase, there's been a lot of affirmations and confirmations along the way. They're still in your funnel. They still are giving you the signs that this is a good deal. Therefore, price should become just a little less important. So focus your negotiation on the variables around it, because they are in your funnel for a reason. They are an ideal client and they are very likely to buy. As we come out of the negotiate phase, this is where we move into the close, the order, and the payment phases. You see the shape of the funnel really here represents that we shouldn't be losing any more once we move into that close phase. You know, we're finalizing the close, the contract, and the terms and conditions and so on, into the order, and then into the payment phase. So yeah, we have SPANCOP as a sales funnel. I hope that helps you. More information in the notes below on our courses, and perhaps we'll see you again.